Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here. It is March 12th, it is Ascendant Challenge time once again. It is Curse Week 3, and it is this time the Keep of Honed Edges with the Giant Sword. So we're going to be going to Ray Sylvia, way in the back, all the way to the back through the Harbinger Seclude, way up here almost off the top of the map. So that's where we're going to be going. Just a reminder before you guys jump ahead on the timestamps. If you guys are going for a time trial or just trying to finish this thing, keep the sword with you. The sword is important. It's one of those pieces you have to have it with you to be able to open the chest. So keep that in mind. Don't drop the sword. Run with it all the way to the portal so you can open the chest. And if you're doing the time trial, open the chest and then get out of the portal as fast as you can, but keep that sword. Sword is also very important for a couple of the eggs, specifically one of them. You pretty much have to have it to get to it. The person who found that egg, I will never understand how they found it, which is amazing. And all of that out of the way. You guys can use the timestamps to jump ahead to any section you want to. If you know where the portal's at, that's fine. But I'm going to drive over there on the Sparrow at this point and show you guys where everything is at. So let's head to Ray Sylvia. So as we drive over there, I do want to shout out to everyone who's just been hanging out with me recently, whether it's subscribing to the channel. We just broke 33,000 subs. The Whisper video broke 1 million views, and I want to shout out to that because that is a huge milestone that I never thought I was even going to get close to. So thank you guys very much. I know that video's been kind of amazing to me, how the legs that it's had, and it's just been really awesome, and thank you all for very much on that one. Also on Twitch, streams have been a lot of fun lately, so if you haven't checked me out there, it's, twitch.tv/Ebontis. Find me there, check out the streams. They're usually a whole lot of fun, and we have a good crew in there, and they get to be a lot of regular. Also, I had the face reel recently on Destiny Community Podcast. Shout out to them. Had a whole lot of fun with those guys, all of them. I mean, you got Holtzman, you got Tefty Teft, you got Briar Rapid, you got Miss 5000 Watts, and Pope Bear. All of them, I was lucky enough to get invited on, hang out with them for about 3 hours. It was pretty incredible. Really awesome experience. Those are a great, great group of people. So check out that podcast as well. That was the face was revealed live, but I will be streaming and occasionally have it in some videos as well. Didn't have them in a couple this week because I am kind of working on getting out of town and working on some quests, but I'll be in some of the streams and future videos as well. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see my face in like a Nightfall solo guide or a weekly reset video, or if you're just like, nah, I don't really need to see that or don't care. So just curious, always asking for you guys' thoughts on that one, so let me know your opinions and we'll see what we can do. So once you get back here, I'm going to kill these last couple ads just so they don't creep up behind me. Mostly the Reaper so they don't just snipe you. And once you get to this point, if it's going to be tame, I've had like some enemies spawn, I've had a ton of enemies spawn. It really just varies on what you're going to fight down here. I don't know what causes what to go on, but you'll have different variations down here. One thing I do want to say is if you're going to go for speed, or before you get to the middle of the Ascendant Challenge when you're going to get the sword, have a super. It helps. They're solar wizards, but any super is pretty much going to do. So once you get to this bridge, looking up at the statue, you guys can see the portal. I already popped my tincture earlier. If you haven't popped it by now, definitely pop it now. But instead of trying to climb up on these orbs, which is technically possible, it's kind of a pain in the butt, just turn to your right and use these secret platforms. It's just much easier this way, honestly. I have checked the sides, the secrets. There's not much back here, at least to my knowledge. So these are just a nice way to get up to the top of this platform when it is Curse Week 3. And this portal is back here. So once you guys are here, make sure everything is reloaded, make sure you're all set, make sure your super is up, there's no rush to jump in there. And one thing to keep in mind, as I said earlier, keep the sword with you. If you're running out or trying to do the time trial or looking for some of the eggs, don't just drop that sword and lose it. It is an important piece. Now, one more thing before I jump in. If you guys do get to the point where you actually kill all the knights and then start to exit and then die at that point, you're going to notice the flying giant purple rocks like you would have in the Corrupted Strike. If you die and then pop back out to like right near the statue and just kind of make this circle, the flying purple rocks are going to be there, but you have to kill the knights and everything again. So if you want a complete reset, go back to the Devilian Mist landing zone, drive back over here again, and you'll get a fresh start. But I'm going to see how fast I can do this one, hopefully without dying, and let's see how it goes. So once you load in, there are 3 different directions you can go to get to the middle. They all count. Just basically what you want to do is always make sure you use kind of the lightning flashes to look for whatever platform is going to be ahead. Usually they're not too far out of range, but it's one of those. You guys can also see Toland right down there. But as you work forward, you may enter one side, exit another. You may enter and exit out of the same one. I don't think it's honestly consistent on any of that. Big one is just be aware that these platforms are separated, and when you're exiting, some of them can disappear. Now, if you're having some issues, you can use these platforms as a place to fight the knights, but I'm just going to try and do a lot of this from the center for speed. This is why a solar super will help, so you can kill the wizards quicker. Of course, this guy doesn't exactly want to die. And then you're going to have these guys up here. So try and take these acolytes out without doing too much. You're going to have a few acolytes off to the side. A few stragglers down below as well. So see if you can find your adds. Again, the acolytes, definitely going to be an annoying piece. These three that hide. Or just some of these guys right here. And the quicker you kill them, the better. And if you don't quite kill it as fast, just come back in and make another attempt. As soon as the sword is up, pick it up. And look at this guy, Gara. You just want to do your big slam over and over. Try and find that point where you can start doing damage. You might even knock him off a ledge. Make sure you do that big slam because it all keeps killing the adds around you, and that's an important piece. And if you can try and push him under this ledge, that will serve you pretty well. Once some of the adds start coming to you down here, you'll have the other two knights starting to come to you. Now, if the other two knights get a little close or you feel like you get a little overwhelmed, start smashing these guys down. Watch the edges. I have fallen off there before, so be careful. And if you get a little overzealous, then you can die. So, we'll go ahead and respawn. I'll show you guys again, jumping back in, just so you guys can see the full cycle. So again, that's the general idea. Unfortunately, this time I do not have my super. So what I'm actually going to do is wait until my super is back up, as long as I have enough time on my tincture, and then we'll go at it again. So I'll leave that death in there for you guys so you can kind of see where I was getting overwhelmed underneath. Just kind of a few too many things shooting me. I'm going to wait until my super is back up and cut ahead. Alright, Guardian, super's up, and we are going to give this another go. So I did enter the same section this time, but again, you guys can enter from 3 different sides. You can also exit from 3 different angles. So just keep that in mind. You won't always be going the same direction. So when we jump back in, same principle applies here as you guys run in. And that's why I'm trying to do this as fast as possible, show you guys more of a solo time trial version. Because if you take your sweet time, you can hide around the edges, pull the enemies to you. But if you're going for that time trial bit, as I have done a time trial previously, I'm still trying to show you guys as fast as possible. So I know the death isn't required, but I figured I'd show you guys hopefully a more successful run and see if we can get this going. Might try a perch up here again this time. Trying to get high up to smash the 3 wizards. So these guys up here smash, these guys up here can smash, and then just see if we can find the thrall. Somewhere. 1 straggler. Pick up the relic, find the one that says Garak, and we're going to push him underneath just like we did last time. Wait, and start slamming, push him off the ledge, and this is where like Will of Radiance is like just absolutely amazing. So it takes that mini, definitely wait underneath. If you kind of move around under here, pull some of the adds to you a little bit. You'll pull the knights down here as well. When the knights get closer, definitely get ready to start slamming them. And if you have both of them around, and you can use your super and finish them up, then everything should die, and you should be good to go. So use that super as soon as it's fully charged. Find the dot, figure out which way it's going. It'll point you to the portal, and then mind the falling bricks, and mind the platforms that can disappear, just like that. Basically, never stay on any platform for very long, and use your sword to get across if you need to. Or save your butt like that. Also a thing. Now, as some of the platforms can disappear, usually it's not ones like this. Sometimes it's the bigger ones that are like geodes, like this one, for example. Not sure this one will actually disappear. And here's your chest. Go ahead and open that one. And if you guys are looking to get up to this portal up here, it's right up here, and then in the tree, and then go. But if you guys want the eggs and everything, keep the sword and go back with you. But if you're going for the time trial, make sure you exit. So, now that we have the sword, what you want to do is you can actually technically set the sword down for a second if you do want to kill these adds. And my advice would be don't set it down for long. So, you can come back towards the middle, try and get on another one of these grassy platforms where there's actually a tree. And again, don't leave the sword down for long, but if you need a point to where you can actually kill some of these adds, definitely drop what you can. Watch that sword, don't let it sit there for long. And we'll work our way back a little bit more. And again, the grassy ones do not disappear, keep that in mind. But watch where that sword goes, make sure you don't lose track of it. And make sure you kill the adds so you don't get killed from far away. Because there's going to be some roaming around on this one, and you don't want to get sniped for any ridiculous reason. Use the sword, pick it back up. I don't know if it'll stay there or not, but it's not one I want to risk. So, and definitely be careful dropping it on angles. Alright, so we should have a pretty safe run. Now, if you do die, you are going to need the sword for some of this, so be careful, look for the floating rocks, and let's get back to the middle. And you'll notice some of the platforms will still disappear as well. So we're going to use this as a point of reference facing this direction. If you're facing towards one of these 3 gazebo type things, but it's one that has the 2 raised platforms closest to it, we're going to use this as our point of reference. Alright, so from here we're going to cut ahead, do the lower bones first, and then the 2 eggs. Alright, Guardians, so I do want you guys to note that the sword does have a timer. So this is actually the one I would recommend first. I'm kind of doing some of these out of order. The lower bones and the other one are not required with the sword. This is the only one. I know I showed the lower bones with the sword, or at least you'll see it that way, but this is the one you have to have the sword, so do this first. So once you have the 2 platforms facing closest together, kind of towards one of the gazebos, turn to your right. Now you guys will see the lower bones will be down below. But what you're going to want to do is head off here to the left. Follow this platform here. It could disappear. This platform here, and then up over this one, you're going to want to jump to this long one here. Now you guys see the rocks flying by? You want to be very, very careful. Now you're going to come to this platform that looks like it's holding one of these lanterns, urns. And it's kind of up at an angle. Now your platform might not be right there, but you'll notice there's a giant rock formation kind of in this direction over here. So if you guys need a point of reference, you want to kind of get as high as you can. And you'll notice if I'm looking up this way, the 2 platforms are kind of, you know, this is the gazebo. I went pretty much straight out here, and I'm going to look this direction. Now you do have a limited amount of time, and this is the hardest one to get to. So my advice, do as high of a jump as you can, and then start swinging. And you want to aim towards kind of the right edge over here. So double jump, high as you can, start swinging. Make sure you cover the ground as quick as you can. And as long as you land over here somewhere reasonable, you'll be alright. Landing on here makes it even easier. So then jump on up all the way to the top. Head around the backside, and I have no idea how somebody ever found this thing, but here is your ridiculous egg. This one is definitely one of the hardest ones to find. Kind of insane. So once you're done with that, you can actually jump up here. And the quickest way back to the middle, if you kind of give the big giant floaty rocks a second, you actually have a pretty clean run to the back. If you have enough sword ammo, you can just literally swing your way back there. Let all the crazy rocks pass through, especially the ones going sideways first, and then just start swinging. If you start swinging quickly, you will actually cover that ground that you need to cover. Almost there, all the way back, and that is a wrap. So, that is egg number 1. Now let's look at egg number 2, and you can put the sword down. Alright, Guardians, now that you're done with the sword, if you have the 2 platforms facing together, you're going to jump up to this gazebo up here. Now, what you're going to want to see is right here, a very, very faint light over in this direction. Now, you probably won't be able to hit anything with bullets, and the main reason is you kind of have to make a couple of jumps. So, where you're going to want to head is turn back around. You're going to want to put on as much agility as you can. Currently, I'm at like 1, which is pretty rough. So give me some mobility armor. See if I can get some mobility armor here as well. A little bit of mobility will help you guys get a little bit higher jump, which is really pretty much going to help you out. And normally my mobility stuff doesn't have too much in the way of anything on it that's going to help the jumps. But if you get, you know, 5 or 6, this will help you just a little bit. In any class, this will help. So if you're looking to make this jump just a little bit easier, no enemies to kill at this point, higher mobility will give you the benefits you're looking for. And it's not that big of a difference, it's just going to make a minor difference. And what we're trying to do is get up to the lip of that little gazebo. So jump up here on this little ledge. And then what you want to do is kind of get enough of a running start, so make sure you got a little bit of room, and you want to kind of try and go up here. So again, a nice fly up, and then if you can actually get up there, that's what you're trying to do. That's not always the easiest thing to get to. There can be multiple attempts to it. Trust me, had my share. So again, the closer you are to this edge, the closer you're going to get to. Now again, something like a different jump that's higher up, or using the sword to swipe across can be beneficial as well. High lift, again, something right here. I don't know if I'll be able to cover the ground, but I should be able to get higher for sure. Definitely float across. And then something like for a Titan, if you have a dash, if you have a sword that's going to serve you pretty well, Even from here, if you have that high lift jump, you might be able to make this jump right there like that. And again, that was just the high lift from here. So a little mobility and you should be good to go. So once you're up here, hang on the left edge of the gazebo, and it's still just baby faint light. But you'll notice actually can get some immunity damage back there. And that's what you're going to want to do with the Wish Under Bow, is literally shoot it right back into that little ledge, and there's a tiny crevice where you can actually hit the bow. Now, it is possible to get all the way over there. It's kind of ridiculous and not required to do so. But if you can get up here, you can technically swing your butt across, but it's not required. You kind of have to know where you're aiming. So basically, you have the gazebo there, you're kind of up here, and you'll start to see that light source way back that direction. But really, from this gazebo right here, just the one I jumped onto first, shoot an arrow back here, wedge in that corner, and at some point, you will get that immunity damage just to know that you actually broke the egg back there. And that's the key, right there. All you need is one. So it may take you like 5 or 6 shots, but that is it. Let's head back here, and then we'll cover the lore bones last. Point of reference, here we go. And I would replace your jump if you're running on anything else, back to your normal jump that you're comfortable with kind of traversing platforms. Alright, to the lore bones. Alright, so if you're facing towards the gazebo with the 2 platforms kind of closest together, you're going to turn to the right and go to this gazebo towards this right edge. Now, your secret platform is going to be down below. If you have your Tincture of Queen's Foil on, it's going to be kind of hard to see. And the sword is not required for this one, but I'm going to hold on to it. You guys can kind of see it appear right down here. And it is one that you'll slowly work your way down. And some of these are like kind of trust jumps. And you just kind of have to work your way down, kind of work on catching your fall. There's Toland over there if you do want to catch him. They're not that much of a decline, but they are enough where you are slowly going to work your way around. And some of these are going to be a trust. Again, shout out to the people who found this stuff. I know there's so many people that have put guides together about this stuff, and I have definitely used those previously. Just some of these, the way you guys have had to find some of these are kind of ridiculous. So once you get down here, you'll notice you'll walk right to this barely tip edge. And once you're here, this is where your lore bones will be down at the bottom. Now, as the sword does tick down in, life, this one doesn't require the sword, but I wanted to show you guys you still can make it with the sword in case you've still got it and want to keep it for any reason. Work your way back out to the top. And then we're going to do the craziest one next. And then from here, we will jump back up to the mini ledge and then up to the top. All right, back to the center for our point of reference, and then we'll get the next one. All right, and once you are back outside, you are done. So that is the Keep of Honed Edges. It's in the Harbinger Seclude way up here in the top of Ray Sylvia. 2 eggs, 1 lore bones, not probably one of the harder ones to get to for sure, for all the little secret pieces. And if you're doing the time trial, Warlock can definitely make this one easier, just depending on Well of Radiance and things like that. But supers will be beneficial. Heavy ammo if you got it. And then again, if you're going for the time trial, you have to be somewhat aggressive on those nights and then leave as quickly as possible. If you're not going for the time trial, pull back to one of the little gazebos areas. Use the kind of coffin, grave, whatever you see there. Keep walking around that thing to keep a little distance between you and the knights. And you can even slam the ground on the coffin if they're on the other side and damage them. So that'll help give you a little bit of a buffer if you're having some issues. Hope this video was helpful for you guys. I know some of the pieces in this were a little ridiculous. I left the death in. Hopefully that was okay. But again, I always hope you guys find these videos helpful. So you guys find me on Twitch, on Twitter. It's Ebontis on both. The streams have been a lot of fun, so definitely catch me there. It is right here on YouTube, though, where you guys probably found this one. So if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, leave a comment if you have thoughts, suggestions, or otherwise. But to all of you guys, we broke 33,000 subs. It's been awesome. So hit that sub button if you haven't yet, and I've got more stuff coming for you. So thank you guys very much. Have a great one, and I'll see you soon.